Miss Isisai, can you tell us a little bit about your book? What inspired you to write this book? What is the premise behind writing this book?
The premise behind it, that's a good question. When I first started doing the book, I started out trying to be subtle, and in fact, I had chosen the name Quietly Stated. And the more I got into the book, the more it got loud, and I had to tell what was happening. So it's a book about African Americans. It's a book about religion, how we interact in religion. It's a book about AIDS and the effect it's having on African American women, more so than any other group of people. It's about romance, and most definitely it's about politics, and it addresses the two people who are running now, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama.
I also understand that it predicts the winner. So if you want to find out who won the election for 2008?
Absolutely, it does predict the winner. And it talks about how we're always Democrats and we never change or we never request anything. So this is a lot in here. So we're just hoping everyone will rush and get your copy of Shaded Canvas. It is a must-read book. And I'd just like to tell you a few of the people we have on the back who've written blurbs. Congresswoman Barbara Lee from California, Oakland, California, 9th District. We have Ambassador Andrew Young. We have Zernona Clayton of the Trumpet Award. And we have Kathy Hughes of TV and Radio One. This is Stephen Houston.
Hello.
Stephen has his copy of Shaded Canvas, so if you could maybe want to say something.
Oh, I'm going to like you about the novel, Shaded. Even though I know ISIS told me it's based on fiction, you know, I've done my little research, I've done my reading, and I did find out, so well, maybe it's based on fiction. But from what I've seen, what I've read, and from what I experienced through reading the novel, is that even though it's based on fiction, what's in this novel, it really, really is reality. Because anything that she's written about in this novel, on fiction, I know in reality, in real life, it really, really, really can take place.
Wonderful. I do understand, though, some of the items in her things she's written in the book really relates to what's going on today, at this moment.
At this moment, and dating back, I'm a child from the 50s, so I experienced some things in life where, you know, when they were protesting in Berkeley, California, when Patty Hearst was running around doing her thing, up until the Vietnam War, up until 9/11. So when I've read the novel, I haven't read it completely, finished it, from what I've read so far, based on my life and what I've experienced, you know, through my walk in life, this novel is definitely hitting all the points that I've experienced as an individual. Based on politics, family values, health issues, job ethics, your mentality, the way you think, everything that I base my high standards on in life is in this novel. I was just really surprised to see Sister Isis come to the forefront, step up to the plate, and put out a wonderful novel based on things that I've experienced in life. And I had no idea that this novel would be talking about things that I've lived.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, I thank God for this novel.
Thank you.
And
okay.
I thank my Sister Isis for putting the pen together and the paper and the thoughts in her mind.
All right.
To bring it to life.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. You are going to share with us a little bit about the characters in the book, right?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
And so far, I've really got into the character of Shauna.
Oh, Shauna, okay.
Yeah. You know, I love her spirit. She's a high-spirited woman. Got really, really strong expectations of people, life. Shauna, she bases her theory of life on how you see people, your color, whether you're black or white. Shauna, she truly brings it to the table. She'll tell you up front how she feel about everything about life. How she feel about men, what she experienced with me, even though she's in love with EJ. EJ is a main man. But Shauna ain't got no shame in her game to talk about how she feel about men as a girl in general. Age doesn't make a difference in Shauna's life. Shauna don't care about age. It's just men. How she has a struggle to fight to hold on to a good man. You know, when she compete with other women from different cultures of life, Caucasian, Asian, she knows the value of a good black man, and she speaks about it in the novel. What black women are dealing with today in life when it comes to getting a man, and she doesn't have an issue. She don't have any insecurities with herself as an individual. Shauna is a definitely strong woman. She has great values. Her standards are very high, and her integrity is above, way above beyond protocol. For some concern. I love Shauna's character. That's my girl. I said, why that woman there? I want to be Shauna. Well, even though I know it's fiction, but I'm like.
But the question is it really fiction?
Is it really? That's the whole key. Even though it's really fiction, but I've met women like Shauna.
Okay.
So is it really fiction? Because I've met a Shauna. You know.
So then this becomes a true story.
Well, for me, it's a true story because the Shauna has really opened up another key in my mind to the woman that I've met that reminds me of Shauna.
Okay.
The true Shauna. And I hold her close to my heart.
All right.
I'm not going to say her name, but there is a Shauna.
All right. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that.
My pleasure.
Well, we've left the garden. We've produced what we consider the winter crops from the garden. And here have just some more things that are indigenous of what the winter will produce for you. We saw the beet. This is rutabaga. These are turnip roots. This is butternut squash, which was left over from the summer. Butternut squash is a squash that it can be savory or it could be used as a sweet dish. You handle butternut squash the same as you would a sweet potato. However, the difference being that the butternut squash is a lot sturdier to handle. I mean, it lasts longer, and I just want to turn it over and let you see what took place here. A lot of people are intimidated by butternut squash because it appears to be a hard item, but you don't even need to peel it. The only thing you need to do with a butternut squash is wash it, cut it in half, scoop the seeds out. The seeds look like this, which I'm going to reserve for another dish. That's your butternut squash. Bake, roast it. Scoop that out, mash it, puree it, add sugar and cinnamon, use it as a sweet potato pie. Scoop it out, spin it around in your blender with some coconut milk, and you then have a butternut squash coconut soup. Season it with whatever your choice in spices or herbs might be, and you've created another dish. You could just go on and on with butternut squash. You could scoop it out, put a spoonful of it into your yogurt, and you have enhanced the flavor of yogurt as well as added another nutritional element to it. So another item that highly nutritious will be the seeds. Once you peel your butternut squash, roast it, don't throw your seeds away. These are edible. You don't even need to wash them because the membrane will dry up. Put that on a baking sheet, put it in the oven at 350 degrees, and you then have what is known as pepitas. Pepitas. Well, pepitas are pumpkin seeds. However, butternut seeds are highly edible, highly nutritious. And another thing about butternut squash, you can take these very same seeds, pulverize them in a food processor, and you have butternut butter. Add a little oil to it, and it acts just like peanut butter.
Oh, okay.
Same pulverized seeds. Take them, mix them in with a little flour, a little water, a little oil, and whatever spice or seasoning of your choice. Roll them out, bake it, and you have a cracker.
Oh, wow.
So that is the versatility of the butternut squash. I would recommend it. Everybody, do try butternut squash. You won't be disappointed because it's so high, and you can look at the orange coloring. You know that this just beta carotene jumping out at you. And we all know what doctors are telling us about how to eat foods that are more nutritionally dense to support our immune systems. These are items that will carry you through the winter, that will keep your body healthy throughout the winter months and eliminate some of the sickness, some of the discord and imbalances that you have in your system. These are all nourishing, blood neutralizing ingredients. And I just want to also show you, here I have a stalk of celery. A lot of us ignore celery. Celery is highly important in our diet. And if it's something that you're not including enough of it in your diet, once you purchase it, it's going bad in your house, take that celery and just cook it up with anything that you have. Just hide it into ingredients. But I just wanted to show that this, when you see celery and it is sprouting, I'm going to continue to make my own celery. Once I bought celery from the store, this is an organic piece of celery. I'm not sure if conventional celery will do this for you. But this is going to continue to grow for me. It'll be a long time before I buy celery because I've got new stalks coming out. Peel this. This is what I purchased at the store. It began to sprout its own. I'm in the house gardening. Okay? So, also, another winter plant will be your cabbage. This came out of the garden earlier.
I was getting ready to say, that does not look like a normal cabbage.
Well, what it is a normal cabbage. It is another type of cabbage.
Okay.
It is what's known as the Savoy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, and it's a little bit milder, a little bit more delicate. You can use it to use it just like I use it like I would lettuce. I would take some butternut squash, roll it in there, and I'd have me a butternut squash sandwich.
Oh.
That's just me. This is kale, highly nutritional, in season right now. Highly recommended. Do include some seasonal plants into your diet. And as much as you can, make your diet as plant-based as possible. Okay, some other things that I've shown you, the vegetables. Superfoods. Everything you see here, we're calling it superfoods. These foods add gut bacteria to your system. These are the things that are going to go down there and create that beneficial bacteria that's going to break down whatever you're bringing into your system that may not be wholesome. So if you're bringing something in there that's not wholesome, put something in there that is wholesome that will alleviate it from your system, so that it doesn't just sit there in your system, cause all these health issues, the bloating and whatever else is happening with you. These products like this and plants like this are the plants that we're needing to work on what we call gut bacteria. And we're finding out that gut bacteria is the key to diet. The old diets, eliminating the fat and the bread and all of that stuff, that's fine too. But what takes place in the gut is responsible for the amount of weight that we will lose and how fast we'll lose that weight and how we'll keep that weight off of us. And so right here what I have is just a tray of items that I'm going to be talking about through this through these series. And these are products that I call my superfoods, my go-to. Almond seeds. Almond nuts, cashew nuts, coconut, pumpkin seeds, peanuts, raisins, sea salt, coconut oil, flaxseed, chia seeds, dates, hemp seeds. Oh, so just a number of things, and all of these things you can purchase them. These are things, if you had nothing but these items here, you would be okay in your diet. You could always find some dish to make. So what we want to do is begin to restock our pantry with wholesome items and superfood that we can increase our nutritional intake, which will bring about a healthy and happier and more wholesome being. Try it. It works. These are beef stock bones. Initially, they came whole, looking like the leg of the cow. But I realized that they needed to be broken open and release all of that oil that's in it, which is this, which we call tallow. This was a staple back there at my grandmother's 200-acre farm. A staple line. We didn't buy lotion. That's what we used.
Wow.
That was tallow. We didn't. That's what you put on all over. Well, these are bones, broken open, roasted in the oven at 350 degrees. Produced the tallow. Added some vegetables. That same celery that's so neglected, carrots and onions to it, and this will be put into this stock pot with some water. And it will steep, and I don't mean boil, I said steep. Steep is that slow cook where all it does is say poof, 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 and it will poof, poof, poof for 7 hours. And in 7 hours, you'll have the richest, every bit of nutrient that comes from the bone, comes from the marrow. Wow. Bone marrow is what nourishes your entire being, because you've got that collagen, you've got everything out of the bones. That's the blood building. That's where the blood went, into the bones. So you got all that nutrient in there. And so when we want to recreate these great soups that we're getting at restaurants and restaurant quality soups, the key and the secret is in the broth. And the broth is not just throwing these raw uncooked bones into a pot and boiling them, but the stock begins with the roasting, caramelizing those bones to create that brown almond color. Once you created that color, that's going to be the color that soup, that stock will take on. And it becomes deep, and to the point that you hardly need it means that it's nutritional and it's complete in itself. But should you want to add another flavor profile, do feel free to do that using any type seasoning that you might have available. But know that you're getting the ultimate in nutrition when you make your own stock.